In order to create a controller, right click on the controller and add the controller. We are going to create the MVC controller empty. Click on add. Okay, and then we're going to select the name of the controller. So the name of our controller will be the product controller. Click on add. Okay, so now we have the product controller available to us. So this controller has a method called as index, which is of type iActionResult. So this is called as the action result method, which returns a view. Now, if you go to the views, we don't have a view representing our controller. So let's create a new view. So in order to create a new view, you can right click on the view, click on add view, and we're going to create a razor view which is empty. Click on add. And then we're going to create a view index.cshtml. Click on add. So we can see that our view is created, the index.cshtml. We can also see that we have a new folder created under the views automatically. So there's a folder called as product, and this product represents the view. So one of the views that we have now is the index.cshtml. So let us assign a title to this page. We can use the view data title property. So we can assign the title to the view data title property. So this will display the view products when the page loads. And we'll just add a small placeholder just so that we can see this page running. All right, so let's compile this. Okay. So we will also have to ensure that this page is visible through the links. So when we run this at this point in time, we will not be able to navigate to this view. We would want to add one more link here. We'll call this as products. So let's see how to do that. Under the shared folder, click on the layout. Now in the layout, we do see the home and the privacy link. Let's duplicate this to add a new list item. We'll call this as products. And the controller is going to be our product controller. Let's compile this. And let's run and see if we are able to view the products link. So we can see that we have our products link now available. click on the products. We see this error because the product controller is trying to call an action method privacy, which does not exist in the product. So let's resolve this error. So here we can see that the controller is our product, but then the action method should be index. If you look at the product controller, you can see that we have a action method index. So this should resolve the error. Let's run this and check it out. So you can see that now clicking on the product link displays the products list page. So now let's add and display the list of products on this page. This project is leveraging the Bootstrap framework in order to help render the UI, and the best place to look at the Bootstrap resources is on the website. So let's have a look at it. Get Bootstrap is the website to look at all the UI resources. Click on the docs and you can see various different type of resources that you can leverage within your project. I'd like to create a table, and let's search for a table here. All right, so let's create this. Let's copy this template in our code. And let's work with this particular table to populate data from the products table. In order to query all the records from the products table, we will have to work with our application DB context class. If we go to the programs, we discussed it earlier that as part of the dependency injection, okay, this class was added into our services container. Now, since this class has already been added, we can use this class, or we can subscribe to this particular object using the class constructor in our products controller. So in order to subscribe to it, we will have to create a constructor. So let's generate a constructor and ensure that we have the application DB context parameter created. We also need a public read-only property of type application DB context. We'll still call this as a DB context. And here we are going to assign the star DB is equal to underscore DB context. This way we are injecting our dependency on the application DB context, which is being made available to us by the DB context, which we are again storing it in our DB context property accessible to this particular class. So now let's retrieve the data from the products table. So let's create a variable. So we have the DB context. Now this will expose the product object, which will then return us the list of products. And since we have the products available, we will return the products to our view. Let's go back to our view and add a model that will allow us to navigate through the data. So let's add a model. So our product model is available in the models folder. Since we have a result set with multiple products, we will have to enumerate through the result set. We'll be using the IEnumerable interface. Let's format our table to hold the products data. Let's remove the unwanted table rows. So this is going to be our header, and the first column that we want is the product ID. The second column will be our product name, and the third column is going to hold the category ID. Now the way to display data is going to be to enumerate through the IEnumerable interface we have for the products. So let's create a for loop. We'll have a for each loop. So we'll have a product in the models collections. So the model collection is going to hold our product set. Now for every product in the table, we want to create a new row, right? And then for every row, we want to display data from various columns. So in this case, we can access our columns through the product object. So is a product ID, product name, and then the category ID. So let's compile the code. And see if we can get the product list to display. So let's click on the products. Okay. So we can see that our list is rendered with all the products that we have within the table.